In order to make a brush out of a picture, you need to get the picture into Photoshop first. So go to Canvas and download the leaf picture from the modules. Once you download it, you can open up Photoshop and then go to File, Open, and go find it in your downloads. So once you get it into Photoshop, this is what you need to do. We're going to extract the background out of it. So we first need to come to the layer, the background layer, and click on the lock to unlock it so that we can delete the background. Now we're going to come over here to the Tools panel, and we're going to select the Quick Selection tool. If you click and hold, there's the Magic Wand tool, and this is a white background. That might actually work. If you click once, it selects most of the leaf, but it's got some of the shadow of the leaf that is selected. So we're going to clean that up a little bit by selecting the inside of it, the leaf, instead of the background, and that worked. Make sure your tolerance is about the same as mine. Mine's at 49 right up here, so change that if you need to. Now it didn't select that little part of the leaf, the little handle. If I up my tolerance and click again, still doesn't quite get it. Eventually it's going to start to get that shadow, so I'm just going to manually select that part of the leaf. So I'm going to get the other tool, the Quick Selection tool, and I'm going to use my brackets to change the size of it. That's under the backspace key. So I'm going to go down to the size, to a smaller size. I'm also going to zoom in. So hold down Alt and scroll with your mouse wheel. And then the spacebar to click and drag. While holding spacebar, if I click and drag, I can move it over to where I can see the stem of the leaf. And then I can just click and drag. And as I let go, let's see, that didn't do such a good job. I'm going to undo that, Control Z. I'm going to make it a little smaller so it doesn't select the outside of it. So click and drag, let go, and that's pretty good right there. I'm going to hold down Alt and scroll wheel out, and that's pretty good. It's selecting at the outer edge of the leaf. Now what I need to do is delete the outer edge, but I've selected the leaf, so I need to reverse the selection or select the inverse of what I have. So if you hold down Control, Shift, and I on the keyboard, it selects the inverse. So now I'm selecting the background, and I've already unlocked the background layer, so I'm just going to press the delete key, not backspace, but delete, and then I get the checkers, which means there's nothing there, so I deleted that. Now a Control D to deselect everything. Actually, you know what, before I do that, Control Z, I'm going to select the inverse again, Control Shift I, and I'm going to get the brush, B, on the keyboard. And then I'm going to come here and get a black color. So brush is right here, I selected it. If I click once on the color on the top, I'm going to click and drag all the way down to the corner until I get a solid black color. Click OK, and I'm going to make my brush really big so that I can just paint over the top and make sure it's completely solid. I could get rid of the hardness on the brush, but it was so big that I just made sure I went over it a few times. Okay, it's all black now. Do a Control D to deselect. And now all you need to do is go up to the Edit menu, and about halfway down, I'm going to select Define Brush Preset. And it says, what do you want to name it? I'm just going to name it Leaf. Click OK, and now that is a brush, and I can go to my brush menu. I'll go to Window and Brush, and it's going to be on the list. It's already selected for me. If you go to Brush Presets, it would be there at the very bottom. You can change under Brush, you can change the size of it. You can't change the hardness, but you can change the size, or with the brackets. So now it's a brush, and I can change the direction of it as well right here on angle. If I just click and drag on the word angle, and I can put it straight up and down. I can put it at a different angle. Also the spacing, if I click and drag here, I can space it out more. That way if I click and drag, it just puts a bunch of leaves all over the place. And I can change the color to some fall colors if I wanted, get some brown in there. And some reds. Change the angle if I want. So it's not all the same. So anyway, that's the brush an image as a brush. I just made the image that I had a brush.